Landlords and tenants in Georgia, well, they may not always be best of friends, but both sides do kind of have to play by the rules. And the rules, well, they've changed in 2025. How have they changed, you've asked? Well, guess who's here to help us protect our rights? It's our own Fox 5 real estate expert, John Adams. John, good morning. How are you, sir?
I am well, thank you. And I want to begin by saying shrimp season is open.
Yeah, you told me that. It makes I'm kind of
very
excited
important
about that.
from a real estate standpoint.
Well, and for the dinner standpoint as well. But that's a whole different thing, right? That's not what we're talking about right now. Let's start with this. There's some new laws on the books, right, for how landlords and tenants have to interact. So
yes.
What do we need to know?
In Georgia, Buck, about 1 in 3 households chooses to rent. And so the landlord-tenant laws in Georgia have evolved over decades, even hundreds of years, to govern the relationship between the two parties. It's spelled out in the lease. How many times have we talked about read the lease? People don't read the lease. No, it's sort of amazing. But the first thing that's happened is we have a change to what is called minimum habitability standards. Now, prior to this year, there was what was called an implied warranty, which means you're renting this, I should be able to live here.
Right.
Okay.
Implied is the operative word there, I'm sure. Right.
That's right. So, but the courts were aware of that. It was not in the code. The major factor here is that the word habitable has now been added to the duties of landlords. Now, we've got a little problem here. What does habitable mean? And the legislature likes to play this game where they put words in the code, but they don't define them, and then guess who? The courts have to decide. So not only this year does the rental housing have to be safe and habitable, which is important, but it also has to be repaired. If there's damage or maintenance, it has to be repaired in a timely manner. Excuse me. What does timely mean?
Once again, get the lawyers involved again.
Exactly, right? The lawyers and the courts trying to tell us. So, but at least it's in the code now. I think that's a step forward. And certainly, I don't think anybody wants. The public does not benefit by having substandard or non-habitable or unsafe housing. So I think this is a step forward. If a landlord fails to maintain the property or it's not habitable, now a tenant can bring an action in court against that landlord and say, this is not habitable. I can't live here anymore. Okay. So that's number one.
Well, let's talk about security deposit caps. That's number 2. You know, when you think about it, you think most times it's like first and last month's rent. That seems to be like the standard security deposit, but now we're defining what that is.
We are, and we have limited it. Interestingly, this was part of the so-called Safe at Home Act, and it was originally set at 3 months. During a smoke-filled midnight room negotiation.
I can picture this, yes.
Yeah, it was down at the Gold Dome. It was knocked down to 2 months, and I don't have any problem with that, except as you know, I'm a landlord. We have some rental apartments near Emory. One time I had an Emory medical school graduate student who had no income. He had a 2-year paid, stipend, the whole 9 yards, but he had no credit and no income. I couldn't rent to him.
Right.
He said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a security deposit of 24 months rent.
That might work.
I said that will work, and we rented to him. That shows to me that this is interfering with the free market, the ability of a landlord and a tenant to negotiate what's best for them. Generally speaking, though, I'm not opposed to this.
Yeah, okay, so let's move in quickly because we're running close to being out of time. Eviction notice and process changes. What's going on there?
Really nothing except that we have added a 3 business day grace period to evictions for non-payment of rent. Everything else stays the same, but the legislature wanted to tell tenants, hey, you've got one last chance. These 3 business days, you better get in there and figure something else out, because this guy's saying he's going to evict you. You're going to find yourself out in the street, and you won't have a place to live.
Quickly, what's your bottom line here, John?
The bottom line here is we've got to read the lease. lease. It's all in the lease. It's amazing to me that people sign a 32-page document, but just scanning through it, and they say, yeah, it looks pretty standard. There's no such thing as a standard lease. Read your lease.
All right, if you take nothing else away today, take that away. Read your lease. You going to stick around for a bit?
I'll be here for an hour.
All right, good stuff, John.